I'm going to use my I use Opera to go on the internet. Let's just zoom in here a little bit so it's a bit easier to see. I'm going to type in here. It's gone off funny on autofocus, so I'll just see if I can focus it down manually. Anyway, it'll go better once it gets a white background. So I'm going to type in there Emu 1.1 E-loader, L-O-A-D-E-R, which you can't currently see due to the brightness and the lack of focus. That'll come up in a sec. There we go. So I've typed in there E-loader, Emu 1.1 E-loader. Any combination of that should bring you into a list of stuff. And I'm going to scroll down if I need to, down to the position here, which is this Francis Fisher ME.UK, just because this gentleman has quite kindly put information in an archive. So I'm going to click on there, and here's his website. Excuse me, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So his web address is up here, francisfisher.me.uk, and then if you scroll down this page, technical problems, there's a solutions that he's found, and if we scroll down, we see all the Emu products here that he's got support for. He's collected a load of files together, and immediately there you can see E-loader 1.1 install. That'll work. It's for the Proteus 2000, the 2500, the Ultras, the MP7. I definitely recommend getting yourself this set of information here and saving it all. So you go to E-loader install zip. That's just downloading there. You can see at the top of the screen slightly. Let's just see if I can lift it up a little bit. It's not a very big program. There you can see that's 8.6 megabytes total. I've asked it to open it when it's complete. I would have thought it would have completed by now. Let's retry that. Put back down. Use this first one here then. They're all the same file, it's just sometimes my internet is not a brilliant connection, so it has problems sometimes. When that's finished downloading, you can go into the folder that it's downloaded into. I'll just see if I've got it downloaded previously on mine. I was trying to do this all quickly for you, all at once, but as usual, stuff happens, doesn't it? And it doesn't always work as we want it to. Emu Proteus, is it in there? E-loader install, there you go. So that's the file. I'll pop that out onto the desktop, so we can do it all on the desktop for you. We also want, if you want the songs, etc., the MP7 patterns there, so we can see if that'll download as well. So that's completed. We'll drag that out onto the desktop too. If you're familiar with computers, I'm sure you'll be able to do this anyway. I'm just going to do this like this so that you can see what I'm doing at the time. So there's the two folders there. Let's right click on it, extract using 7-zip is what I use. You can do an internet search for that or use the Windows programs or whatever. extract to eloader 1.1 install. There, it's done. That is there. Install, so double click that to open it. It says there read before installing, so we'll have a quick read of that, which obviously you can do that. If you hear some loud laughing in the background that I can hear, it's next door, they're having a bit of a joke with something. So where's the yeah, it requires Java. So if it doesn't run for you, it could be because you haven't got Java installed, which it shows down there. There's various reasons for it not to install, but usually if I now right click on there and go run as administrator, yes, I want to make changes, get rid of the folder. Yeah, so invocation of this Java application has caused an invocation target exception. It will now exit. So I'll go to details and say what on earth is going on there. I have no idea. So we'll go back. This program might not have installed correctly. Installed using compatibility settings. So it might be because it needs to run as, see how it's flicked up now at the bottom. No, you can't. There we go. Right at the bottom of the screen there. It's flicked up. There we go. And it's trying to reinstall it with compatibility settings. That's because the program wasn't written for Windows 10. It was written for an earlier version of Windows. So let's try this. See if it works. So it tells you what it is, what's new in the release. This is a 2002 program, 18 years ago. It's going to install it somewhere. Now, I don't like installing to the program files x86 folder. I like to put it directly into the C drive eloader folder. It saves problems with program permissions, etc. Click on there, next. It's saying this is where I'm going to put it, how much space you need, how much space you've got, etc. So then install. See if this works. It says it's done. Okay, happy. It's just finishing up, cleaning up. It seems to be happy. So I'll say yes, it worked because it installed there, and now we need to find it. So I need to go and have a look to see if it's in where eloader is. There we go. If you can see that, go to eloader 1.1, click there, and then we have the program working. Let's have a look at this. So it comes up and it's got a number of screens. We have, let's have a see if we can get closer and zoom into the bit that we're interested in. Oops. I need a professional camera person. And then it'd work really good. So there we've got a list, file, edit, MIDI, window and help. Yeah. This program then has a MIDI tracker, so it tells you what's actually going on all the different channels of the MP7. Bear in mind you have to connect this via MIDI, so the first thing it'll do really is ask you how to connect. As I said before, I'm using this MIDI to USB connector. That's already connected into the back of the command station and down into the laptop via USB. So it's already picked it up as input device just here. So I'm going to go to where's my mouse? Input device. and there it's actually flicked up another little setting window that I'll just bring down here for you. So it says there input port, so you have to choose this. So if I click none, it won't connect at all. If I click the interface, the UX16, which is the interface I have, it'll work, but you also need to click the output port. So it's got a few of these. Again, I want the UX16 MIDI interface. The device ID is 0, that's what the command station is at the moment. So I'll just click OK, and now it should be connected. We will have a see in a moment if it's recognised that. Right, so here we've got, in fact let's put it in the middle. I'll close that, sorry, move the MIDI monitor out of the way and bring this here. Get rid of the MIDI tracker window and put this front and center so we can see this. So hopefully you can see that reasonably well. So have a look at these different menu options, so we can close it, edit, MIDI setup. That's what we've just done. So if you haven't set up the MIDI and it's not come up with the box, the MIDI monitor, click on MIDI setup, and then you get this option there to choose the input and output port. So we've already set that up. That's great. It says there device Yamaha UX16 now I'm going to scan for MIDI devices. So now it's really small writing, but can you see where it says there MIDI device inquiry? It does actually say, if you've got good eyes, Emu Systems MP7 gives an ID, product ID, device, etc. So that's got it now. So now that it's found it, I can go to browser, get all sequences of the current bank, or get all sequences of all banks. So if I click on all sequences of all banks, yeah, okay, so I have to refresh, and now if you see that going through, now it's starting to choose, sorry, starting to select all the way through all the banks, all the names in the banks. So they're the pattern banks that are there. Next one goes through, so they're all the patterns that are there. In the MIDI monitor window, this is what shows you the commands that are being passed. So if there's a problem with loading any of these files, you can go to the MIDI monitor and have a look and see if it's actually talking to the command station. Yeah, because all that is all the talk to the command station. If I press a note now on the command station, so pressed it 3 times there. If we now go over there, we can see note on, channel 0, key 64, velocity 64, velocity 50, velocity 52. So you can see the communication is there between the MP7 and the laptop via the MIDI. So that tells us everything's great. Now what I need to do, bank browser, sequence downloader, I believe is the next one I need to check. So sequence downloader. So I've got these 3 windows open now. Oops, let's try and get it so you can see them all. The bank browser, the MIDI monitor, and here we've got the sequence downloader. The sequence downloader is the one we're going to use to put the songs, etc., and the patterns onto the MP7. So go back to pattern bank 0. I've got the MP7 patterns. Let me just do this for you. MP7 patterns zip file. I'm going to extract those to MP7 patterns. So now we have the folder MP7 patterns. If I explore that, double click, I'll just bring it down so you can see it. There we go. So there we are. We've got on the desktop the MP7 patterns folder. Look inside there, and there's lots of patterns. Now these patterns, the name of the pattern is the place it's going to be put. So this is explained in the help document, I believe. But basically, P stands for pattern. So where you've got in the bank browser over here, you've got pattern bank 0, and then pattern number 0, and then a name. Sorry. So over here we've got pattern bank 0, number 000, name A2DJ mid. If you look over here, I've got one called 3-1-grand piano. So say I want this MIDI file from the MP7 patterns folder to be put into the MP7. I'm going to show you how to do that now. You can do a lot at once or just one or whatever. Let's go over to the MP7 a second. So if I go to pattern, there's the pattern, that 3-1-grand piano. That's the same pattern name as it shows. Let's just put that at the same level in the pattern browser there. Let's move that up there. No. So pattern number 1, bank 0, should be that checkers. My eyes are terrible. Clockers. So let's go and have a look over at the MP7. Pattern number 0, change pattern number to 1, clockers. Brilliant. So we know now if I copy a pattern from the computer laptop over to the MP7, we know that it's working, and you can do this for as many as you want. So first of all, I have to navigate to the location of the folder. So under desktop there, double click on desktop, and I've got 2 folders: eLoader, which we've just used to install the program, and MP7 patterns. So if I double click MP7 patterns, and again, that's because there's one folder inside another folder. I've now got the file I want. Now I've selected that file, and I can drag that. No, I can't. I can select the file, I apologise, and click add. So now it's over this side. Files on this side are the one, sorry, that was loud. Files on this one are the ones on the computer in that folder. These I add to this list, which is going to be put then into the computer. Now, what you can do if you have other files is to rename them so they put in different places. For example, currently on the MP7 it says grand piano, clockers, burning love. Yeah, and that's because if we do this, add, see now there's 3 there. I've selected just by clicking there, see, and that's clicking individually. If you select one, press the shift key on the computer and then select further up, it doesn't do anything. I thought it would have unselected. It doesn't. Okay, how do we do it then? Can we right click? No, that's interesting. So we can't select all of them. Edit. Oh, we can. Okay, so if you've got a lot to select, like there's 127 of them, instead of just clicking each one individually, if you go up to Edit and then click Select All, it selects every single one of them, and then you can click Add, and now it'll download all those files. Let's just open that out a bit, and I'll show you why I'm opening this out a bit. It'll download all those files to the MP7. You can see there, as I've extended the window out, you've got pattern 0, that's bank 0, so it's a type of a pattern, bank 0, number 117 grapes. Yeah, and it tells you there, pattern bank 0, item 117, name grapes. Brilliant. Now hang on a minute, what if I've put all them in I didn't mean to? Click in the window, go up to Edit, deselect, select all, up to Edit, and then delete. Now that doesn't delete all the files. What that does is it just removes them from the download list, from the list of files to download to the MP7. So don't be worried you've deleted them off your hard drive. And again, I apologise if this is all sort of old hat to you. I'm just trying to help people like me who struggled with basic how to do stuff. And if you don't, obviously you wouldn't probably be watching this. Anyway, so the other thing I want to do as well is I've got all these selected and I don't want to put them all on. I only want to move over a couple. So I'm going to go to Edit, deselect all. Yes, there we go. Right to the top. And the things we're interested in, or I was interested in, was putting this new file into my MP7. And I'll put another couple in. The reason being, if I wonder if I can rename these. So if I select all those, Edit, select all, Edit, delete. So say if I have a MIDI file I want to put in, that's what I did with the grand piano file. I'd have to go to folder, not that folder, this folder, the MP7 folder, look inside, and then the second one there, Clockers Mid, if I rename that and put that as properties, is that in the zip? Why is it not letting me rename it? Yeah, so properties there. If I change that to 2, it won't let me. I wonder why that is. Are these like read only, these? Yeah, they're read only. I wonder if desktop, MP7 patterns, MP7 patterns, rename. Right, I think I was looking in the zip file. That's why I couldn't rename them. It's always good to make these mistakes and then find out why you can't do something. So I'm going to delete that 1 and put that as 2. And so we don't get a conflict, I'm going to delete that Burning Love one. I'm going to rename as 1. Burning Love sounds a bit of a weird name, so maybe I'll change the name to Burv. There you go. So all I've done there is rename the file, put the different number of number 1, so it'll go into position 1 instead of Clockers, and it become Burv instead of Burning Love, and 2 will be then Clockers. So we'll just double check on the command station. 0's that grand piano, 1 is Clockers, 2 is Burning Love. So let's use this program now. Close the folder, go to here, and to update this file list I'll have to go back up a folder and then go back into the same folder. Could you see that? I think I was slightly off, wasn't I then? So what I've had to do to redo that is to click on there, which is up a folder level, go back into it again, and then it reads the files and updates. Then I want to get these 3 files now, add them. Yeah. Once you've added them to the right hand side, all you need to do then is to select them all, or all the ones you want to download to the unit. Go to select all, and you'll see that this download button now is in operation. It's available. If there's no files selected on the right hand side, that download won't work because you haven't told it which files you want to download. You have to select in here. It's no good selecting them over here. They're just, you select there to copy them to the download list. The download list then needs selecting. So edit and select all. Yeah, or you can select them individually if you just want to do one at a time. If you double click on an item, like say that one, let's just deselect them all. If you double click, it'll ask you, and it says confirmation required. It'll overwrite, are you sure you want to continue? So you can do it that way individually, or you can do it as a select all, download, are you sure? And I'm going to click download, but I'm going to show you the MP7. So now you've got grand piano. I'm going to download, click on the screen. It'll do this little box making progress. It'll take a while, and when you look back at the MP7, there it is, the pattern's changed. So we've got the A2 DJ, a Burv, and clockers. Yeah.